Hi, my clique should be canceled. Freaks and Geeks, Josh Elsass.
And I am Austin Moorhead, and teenagers scare the living shit out of me.
And welcome to Give It a Spin. This is a brand new show that stars me and your favorite RankKing. This was created off of the back of Headphone Hideaway, which was created by my friend Brian Howe that he kind of uses for his brand. And Austin and I really like doing it, so we wanted to make our own thing that could be Thoughts from the Bench specific. And hence, Give It a Spin was born. Austin, I think in every group of friends or people you're involved with, music people find each other.
Yes.
And that has happened with me and you almost immediately where I think the first day I met you, we stayed at Scratch for like the next hour and a half and just went back and forth like, you like that band? Oh, what about that album? Yeah. So this was like a collision course waiting to happen. I'm very happy to be doing this with you. So thank you for taking on yet another endeavor on top of 2 Beers Deep and Thoughts from the Movies and your normal 17 million articles a week.
Yep. You just got to stay busy, man. That's what I'm saying. Basically have every sense of entertainment now for the blog, now with music, movies, and sports. So I've hit that trifecta now.
You are Phil Jackson's golden triangle. So I wanted to start with something that's been bouncing around everybody's Instagram feeds since basically the start of quarantine, but really since like challenges started on social media. The 30-day song challenge is something that you were doing on your Instagram, and I thought, hey, that's awesome. Let's do that for the first episode of Give It a Spin. So why did you like doing this? Like, what was like your inspiration to do it?
I had seen it done on Instagram so much that I thought, okay, well, how about this? I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it in one day. And that's what I did. I went through the catalogs of my music brain, and I came along with 30 songs. And immediately, almost after I finished, my friend texted me and was like, you know, you don't have to do this in a day, right? And I said, oh, I'm very aware, but I'm going to. I was very bored at the time and didn't have anything to do. And for the longest time, I tried so hard to figure out how to do it. And that's what it took me till now. I had to actually ask my brother. I was like, how do you do this? And then he showed me. And then within about 3 hours, it was done.
So there you have it. Austin Moorhead just recently learned how to use Instagram stories. Fantastic. I cannot wait for the infinite amount of video of you drinking Miller High Life. I popped myself on that one. All right. So, like, do you want to go through all 30 songs?
I mean, we can, yeah.
All right. Okay. So day one was a song with a color in the title. Austin, what did you have?
I had White Ferrari by Frank Ocean.
And so this was the song. Now, I've always known your music taste to be pretty eclectic, but like when you had Frank Ocean on this, I was like, okay, Austin, like that was pretty deep cut and not necessarily like a hit either.
Nope.
I liked.
This song was like, this entire album spoke to me in a way that I was like, holy shit, I haven't felt like this in so long. And it like, sometimes it was a good feeling and sometimes it was like, man, I need a cigarette. I need every like painstaking thing in the book, because that's what it did, man. This album spoke to me, and particularly White Ferrari. Like, I was like amazed by not only the vocal range, the melodies, everything that tuned in, but almost that it played off my brain of what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
And I had not seen a lot of that in my own mind out of Frank Ocean in a while. And this song and this album hit me in like the new set of feels, man. It was crazy.
It's awesome. My song is Golden Days by Whitney, which it was contested by my beautiful, loving, caring, amazing wife that golden is not a color. To me, I mean, gold is the color and it's golden, which signifies that something is golden. So just this song, I can't recommend enough. This album, Light Upon the Lake, I cannot recommend enough. I guarantee no matter what type of music you like, you can love only Scandinavian death metal and you will hear the song and be like, that's a great song, period. So day 2, a song you like with the number in the title.
Yes. So I did, and let me just look at it right here so I don't screw the number up because it is a big one. Mine was 8675309 Jenny Jenny by Tommy Two-Tone.
The fact that you had to look at that disturbs me.
Yeah, well, you never know. I didn't want us to cut anything, so I just wanted to play it safe.
Just a classic song.
Yeah.
Jenny, I've got your number. That's what you should have used as your intro line. Jenny, I've got your number. Mine is One Step at a Time by 4 Years Strong. This album, which is Rise or Die Trying, Enemy of the World, means a lot to me. It was this song in particular was really there for me in a tough time in my life. I actually have One Step tattooed on my body. It's a pretty big song for me. Day 3, a song that reminds you of summertime.
It's ironic because as I'm saying this now, I won't get to go to this concert because the zones were pushed back until June 4th, and the Kenny Chesney concert was at the end of May. So mine was American Kids by Kenny Chesney. I thought this one was a tough one because it was literally this or Day Drinking by Little Big Town. I'm not supposed to know their name, just a song. But American Kids is essentially, to me, the summer song of not only having fun, but almost in a rebellious state of like not wanting to see how society views you for like you're the person that wants to chill out, drink beer, smoke weed, enjoy the sun. Like it's a state of happiness and a state of rebellion in a very classy, quite frank country song. I love it.
For me, mine was Rupert Holmes' Escape, aka the Pina Colada song. I like to get after it in the summers. I've been known to bring my own inflatable pool and inflatable palm tree cooler to parties because I just think it's time to rip it up. And the Pina Colada song to me signifies everything that is summer fun and silliness, despite the fact that the lyrics are a little scary if you're married. So number 4, a song that reminds you of someone you rather someone you rather forget. Oh, well, I messed that up.
So mine was, as we go from country to now the post-hardcore metalcore scene for mine. Mine was Mark My Words by For All Those Sleeping. And for those of you that don't know that band, I suggest you check them out. They're not extremely well known, but the lyrics tell a story in a way that I couldn't pass this song up, especially from what I put on. It had said, "There's no way I'd ever forget you, but mark my words, I would never miss you." And that hit a new level of, I'm done with this shit. I'm not doing it. I'm out. I'm on my own. I'm getting better. It was a song I listened to a lot earlier in my life, and somehow I still find it coming on my playlist and being like, okay, let's relive some old shitty memories.
I think I'm gonna, because I did it wrong. But I have a quick pivot.
Okay.
I'm going to use Angels and Airwaves. Everything is Magic.
Okay.
This is nothing special, just a classic story about a song of an ex-girlfriend that loved that song kind of scenario. So yeah, Eve 6, Everything is Magic. A song that needs to be played loud. Austin.
I have Teenagers by My Chemical Romance. Uh, Such a great song, and almost anytime the chorus comes on, you're wanting to blast that volume up all the way and being like, yeah, teenagers at this day, yeah, they really scare the shit out of me. And not only that, but when we were teenagers, like I was terrified of myself because I didn't know what I wanted to become. I didn't know what my future lied. And it's a sense of finding an identity almost. And yeah, turn that shit up because that's what everyone needs to find in their life.
Austin is a school teacher, for those of you who are curious. All right. Mine is Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. This song has been played loud and only on loud my entire life. It is when I heard the term banger for the first time, I thought, oh, that means Don't Stop Me Now. That's like when it comes on, it's got to be loud. Everybody's into it, that kind of thing.
Cool.
A song that makes you want to dance.
You see, mine's a little different than what most people have as like their normal dance tune. Mine is the recently released "Sick and Tired" by Ian Dwyer and Machine Gun Kelly with Travis Barker. I don't know why. Every time that this song plays, especially in the chorus, I do this thing where I like stand on one leg and I like jump around, like just vibing to the music. I think my parents actually walked in when I was cooking dinner listening to this song, and they were like, "What is wrong with you?" And I had no words because I don't know why I danced to it, but it's a good song, especially in this time because it was written during quarantine and dealing with quarantine and how we're sick and tired of being in the same place in life and trying to move forward. So.
Man, I think when someone watches you listen to a song and they ask, what is wrong with you? That's the exact phrase you want for this question. And mine is Too Close by Next. The 90s hip hop R&B jam. I've been well known for putting on some pretty epic dance displays and concerts in my kitchen while cooking as well. And this is one of my go-tos on the show that I perform 5 to 6 times a week in my kitchen. A song to drive to.
Yeah.
This one, I was like, yes, this is the best question. Mine is Open Road Song by Eve 6. It is off their debut album. That entire album is incredible. And it is a amazing piece of 90s grunge rock that everybody should check out. But Open Road Song literally is just about like, fuck it, I'm just going to drive my car as fast as I can. The one lyric is, I crack a window and feel the cool air cleanse my every pore as I pour my whole heart out. The radio song that's patient and willing to listen. My volume, it drowns it out. Yeah, but that's okay, because I sound better than him anyway, any day. My voice is sweet as salt.
That's so punk, man.
But it also just paints the picture, right? Like of the guy just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with everybody. I'm out of here. And just humming down the highway.
So mine comes to us from another earlier release of this year. I was not crazy of the original album that dropped because I thought it was very lackluster for something we have wanted for all time. For those that don't know, that's the album Eternal to Take from Lil Uzi Vert. I was very disappointed in the first part of this album. It wasn't until part 2, the deluxe edition, that dropped all of the song's features and everything. And the first song off this deluxe album was Myron. And I love driving to this song. It starts off very slow and building. And then as soon as you hit that open road, the beat drops and all of your, like, you're just bouncing around, having a good time, like, doing all that, man. I love it.
The next song, a song about drugs or alcohol. Austin and I went very different directions on this one. Mine is Proper Dose by The Story So Far. It talks about battling addiction. It talks about how even drugs that are supposed to help you get better can totally mess with you. It's a really deep song off of the album Proper Dose, which was the return album for The Story So Far. That song just hits me in all the right places, and is pretty awesome. Austin.
Mine, yeah, you're right. We went into two very different directions because mine is the very light and enjoyable Might As Well Get Stoned by Chris Stapleton. I will say I saw this man live. I drove to Virginia, which is a 4-hour drive, and watched him put on a show for 2 to 3 hours. Incredible. The guy is by far my favorite country singer, even though I don't like much of today's country, because he plays in a more bluegrass style, which I very, very much appreciate.
I
but
agree.
The song is literally, essentially, you're bored and you ain't got shit to do, so you might as well get stoned.
My country background is limited, but I did grow up in Butler County, so I have a background in it. And Chris Stapleton is on my radar, mostly because he's a big hockey guy. But
that is true. I just spit out so much water when you said Butler County.
Number 9, a song that makes you happy. I had this playlist compiled and I played it for my wife. And when I got to a song that makes you happy, I had something completely different in there. And she's like, I can't believe it's not Put It In Your Mouth by Akili and Kia Jeffries. And she was absolutely right. So I immediately changed it to Put It In Your Mouth. That song is so silly and happy and goofy, and it just really, like, I think I've said it a million times, like, you can't not smile when you listen to that song.
Yeah. I went in the new face of pop punk, and I went with Days That Shape Our Lives with Me Versus Hero. I thoroughly love listening to this song, especially since it is ultimately compiled of looking at the future and wanting to essentially bring yourself to find that happy place that you really want to be. And I can't help but smile and dance when I listen to it, because I know I'm going to be an awesome teacher, and I'm going to have a great wife, and I'm going to have kids, and it hits you all in the right feels, man. Like, all for it.
So you see, that's where we flipped again. I went with something silly and also went with something meaningful. Day 10, a song that makes you sad. I went with the acoustic song off of Bayside's acoustic album, Winter. It's all about the passing of one of the band members, and Anthony Ranieri having to call all of his closest friends and tell everybody what happened. And there's been a lot of death in my life, and this song really sticks with me. And when one of my friends was going through a particularly tough time, I made him listen to the song, and I said, please don't make me call everybody. And so this song is really close to my heart, and it's a great song. Sad song, but a great song.
Mine, I put Ashes of Eden by Breaking Benjamin. I tear up every time I hear this song played.
Those are good songs.
Yeah, man. Like, Breaking Benjamin's always known for being like a more heavier style of rock.
Right.
So when they completely flipped the switch and went for almost a very dark and subtle operatic kind of feel, I was blown away. And the whole point of it trying to find that said person and having no luck, and the music video is just, oh my god, it's so, the fact that they, so breakdown real quick, there are two astronauts and one gets taken off, and instead of trying to preserve their own lives, they decide to crash to the earth together and perish together instead of leaving one behind. And that really hit me in a numerous amount of feels when I was watching the video. Actually, I had to pause it and like walk away for a sec. So I was like, man, I don't want to cry today. This is like really making me.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
A good one. A song you never get tired of. Mine is No Problem by Chance the Rapper featuring Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz. This is off the Coloring Book album. I loved acid rap, and when I heard Chance had a new album, I was over the moon about it, and then I started to hear the buzz that it was the best rap album, was going to win Grammys, it's going to change the game. And when I first heard No Problem, I just, like, one of my guys broke through. One of my guys made it. And that has just been an anthem for me ever since, and I will never get tired of hearing that song.
Anybody who knows me at this point knows what I would probably suggest here band-wise. So mine is my favorite song and artist by my favorite group, and I never get tired of listening to it, and that is Inspire the Liars by Dance Gavin Dance.
Weird.
No, dude.
It's almost like episode 2 is going to be all about Dance Gavin Dance.
What? Hint, hint, hint. No, man. There's so much to talk about with this song. And I'll like chop it up very nicely so it's easy to say. Tillian Pearson's vocal range in this song is unmatched by virtually anything else I've ever listened to in my entire life. The amount of rasp and everything that goes into this song, coupled by John Mess's insane lyrics of screaming, with Will Swan's unprecedented guitar playing. I have watched countless videos of people doing covers of the guitar on this song, and just having to try to learn everything is unmatched. Like, it's so much packed into one song, and the fact that it changes over in the song makes it, and it's good too. Like, normally when a song changes, you think, I kind of like that part. I had no problem with any part of this song, and I will constantly listen to it every day and annoy everybody about my DGD fandom.
Day 12, a song from your preteen years. Let me paint a picture for you, Austin. It's the year 2000. A young 10-year-old Josh has just made his best friend for the rest of his life. And they're talking about music, and very quietly, a young Josh pulls out No Strings Attached and plays It's Gonna Be Me. And their friendship is cemented immediately when his best friend immediately starts singing the lyrics without hesitation. It's Gonna Be Me, in sync. The best. It's the best.
So mine was a group that I have seen multiple times, and I remember when this song dropped, and it had dropped before I was born, if I remember correctly, but I had grown such an attachment, especially in elementary and middle school, that I couldn't put this down, and that's What's My Age Again by Blink-182. Even the lyrics sound very immature and very preteenish, and I was like, yeah, well, Shit, I still feel that way today. I don't know if I'm 25 or if I'm gonna act 12. Like, I have no idea.
The Mark, Tom, and Travis show will be making a very special appearance on 100 Albums to Let Ruin Your Life. Blink-182 holds a amazing place, I think, in most of our hearts.
Yeah.
So, Austin, what was a song you like from the 70s?
Yeah, this is a tough one because
Really? For you?
I know, right?
Like, to narrow it down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Narrow it down. Like,
I like to come up with one? What do you mean?
No. There's a lot of songs I enjoyed, but probably the one that I enjoyed the most was when I discovered "Only the Good Die Young" by Billy Joel.
Great song.
Spoke to me in so many ways, man, because it's true. There are so many like good people that die young, and it's almost a very lighthearted way of telling a dark story.
Right.
And I enjoy every second of it and play it to this day.
This band is in my top 10 bands of all time. And for me, was the first band that I remember saying, that's my favorite band. Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. It's my favorite song from Pink Floyd, and that band just is the best.
Yeah.
Austin, what's a song you'd love to be played at your wedding?
See, I went in a different direction than most people, where most people want like a happy, like jump around song for everyone to dance to.
Sure.
Mine was how I would want like our first dance.
Okay.
And mine was My Girl by The Temptations.
It's a great one.
I love it, man. Just imagining like playing that, knowing that this is my girl, I married her, and I'm gonna play a song about it because that's what music people do.
That is the classy option, I think. Out of all the weddings I've seen, like if My Girl is their first dance, like that's a classy option. The new classy option is that Ed Sheeran song, where it's like, when your legs won't move anymore,
Yeah,
I'll sweep you off your, like that one. Yeah, it's a good one. This song was played at my wedding because I am happily married. This was played immediately after the ceremony was over as we walked out, because we did not have a first dance. That was by decision. So it's Let's Get Married featuring Reverend Run, Jagged Edge. It's banger. It's a 90s R&B hip-hop banger. You know it when you hear it. Austin, what is a song you like the cover by another artist?
Anybody that knows me knows that I love when any Punk Goes Whatever album comes out, because I thoroughly enjoy how they're going to take a spin on a song. I went in a different direction.
Oh.
I went with a song that I heard for the first time because my uncle, shout out Chip Whiten, had shared this on...
No, you're not allowed to shout out Chip Whiten on my show.
I thought this was our show, but okay.
Whatever. You're not shouting out Chip Whiten on this show. You want to do that on Two Beers Deep, that's fine.
But he had recently shared something that interests me, and I said, how does he know about this group? And for those that don't know, the group is Disturbed. And I said, this doesn't seem like something he would listen to. And mine is The Sound of Silence, man. That song by a group that is normally known for like, down with the sickness type feel, covered Simon and Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence, and man, was it incredible.
I agree that is a great song and a great cover. I am concerned, though, that you think Chip Whiten has good taste in music, because it's been pointed out now on Two Beers Deep and a number of other times that Chip Whiten's taste in music is hot garbage. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, Chip. My cover is Newfound Glory's Stay, parentheses, I Missed You, which is off of the From Your Screen to Your Stereo part album where they take classic songs from 80s movies and they just make them pop punk. That entire album's awesome. That's probably my favorite song off that album. Austin, what is a song that is a classic favorite?
I love Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. I don't think that anybody could argue that. Fun fact, it was also my dad, I believe my dad and my mom's first concert was Journey. So that carried into my years, and I don't think if you play this song, I don't think anybody's going to tell you to shut it off, because it hits you, man. It's that sense of don't stop believing.
My mom's band used to cover Journey songs as part of their set. I don't know if they covered Don't Stop Believin'. Huggin', Kissin', Squeezin' was her jam, though.
Okay.
This is where I'm going to use My Chemical Romance card, which we should probably have a once per episode My Chem card. I'm Not Okay, I Promise. You made it earlier or a couple weeks ago as the #1 emo song of all time. And no doubt in my mind, it is a classic. So,
oh, yeah.
Austin, what's a song you would sing a duet with someone at karaoke?
I'm saying this because it actually happened.
Okay,
picture for you. So, the Siget brothers were at the Loomis Bar in Clarion, and it was karaoke night, and all the brothers decided to jump in and sing along to Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond.
Ba, ba, ba.
Oh, yeah, man.
Let's go state is the proper way to chant that. How many frat boys were on stage at once?
There was a good probably about 14, 15 of us doing it. So we just passed the mic down, man. It was so much fun.
Go. Mine is Jersey by Mayday Parade. My dear friend Kenya and I would destroy this song in the car regularly through college. And if we ever were able to find a karaoke place that played that song, it would just be over. Austin, what is a song from the year you were born? And give us the year.
Cool. So I was born in 1994. And my song, which I love being a 90s kid, let's just say that, I love it. My song is Basket Case from Green Day.
That's very fortunate for you.
Yes.
And this is the second song from 94, yeah? On yours? Didn't you say a song earlier? It was the year you were born? Maybe the Kenny Chesney song? No?
Well, no, because I said that. No, the American Kids was from Kenny Chesney for Summer. So
I was born in the year 1990. And 1990 was a shitty year for music. Like, the actual year 1990 was terrible. And there was one gem that I'm very fortunate for, and it's also in my repertoire of my kitchen performances, Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe. You can't beat that song.
Nope.
All right. A song that makes you think about life. Mine comes from Paul Simon, Slip Sliding Away. When my father passed away, he loved Paul Simon, and the end of the song where he talks about a father who had a son, just still, like, you can hear it choking up my vocal cords as we think about it now. So, yeah, makes me think a lot about life. So, Paul Simon's Slip Sliding Away. Austin?
There are numerous amount of songs I considered here because I love songs that have meaning and a deeper feel to them. And I feel like mine, because it's very new.
Okay.
And it has
you
to
have
do
a lot of new music in yours.
I do. I want to incorporate a span of old and young and in the middle.
Yeah, I think you did good at that. All right. What is it?
Mine is Weird by Youngblood. And essentially it was written, performed, and even recorded and performed live on a British show. I couldn't remember which one it was, which is probably going to be bad because he's a big star. But it's essentially saying what a weird time we are living in this quarantine. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like that symbolizes, yeah, this is all strange. This is new. We don't know what's going to happen next. And we're essentially living under a thought bubble of pentalating thoughts of what's going to happen next. Weird by Youngblood. I check it out, man. It's so good. As a very I don't know if you're a fan of 1975, which I don't think you are.
No, I do not like the 1975. They're not original to me. They bring nothing to the table that I enjoy. All right. A song that has many meanings to you. Mine comes from Incubus's breakout album, Make Yourself. The title is the same as the album, Make Yourself. Man, if I hadn't made me, I would have been made somehow. If I hadn't assembled myself, I would have fallen apart by now. And that entire album gave me permission to say, fuck everybody, I'm going to do what I want. And so that's that song.
You gotta love music like that, man. Like
it's like Incubus is my favorite band of all time. That Bill Clinton meme that's running around of him holding like 5 albums, everyone's like putting their 5 favorite. Mine would just be Incubus, like 5 times. It would be, very easy. And Make Yourself might not be my favorite Incubus album at this current standing, but when it was introduced to 16-year-old Josh, it was the world. As much as 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Like those 2 albums were lock and key, put under my pillow every night, got me through like all of everything. So
mine comes to us from the late and great Tom Petty, with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Mine is Mary Jane's Last Dance. For a while, when I first grew up with the song, I literally thought it was about a girl, and then it was brought to my attention that I was like, no, it's actually about marijuana. And I was like, what? And I was like, my mind was blown. And I looked at it. I look at it now every time I listen to it from 2 different perspectives from those 2 things.
That's cool. Yeah. I've never thought about it the other way because it was introduced to me as a pot song. I'm going to have to give it a spin that way. I love that.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to know what my song with a person's name in it is?
What is it, Josh?
Mary Jane's Last Dance by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
There we go.
That song just kicks ass, man. That song just kicks ass.
God, the fact that we both had this song on for 2 different things.
Just back to back. Love it.
Mine with a person's name on it was Rosanna by Toto.
Great song too.
Love this song. Like anytime I just want to be like, Rosanna, Rosanna. Like just absolutely love it.
Everyone only thinks about Africa from Toto. I highly recommend that you take a deeper dive into Toto's greatest hits because it is some other bangers on there. All right. A song that moves you forward. Mine is Post Malone featuring Quavo. Congratulations. His career and his existence as this mega pop sensation should not have happened. Nope. He's not a good looking dude. I understand that he smells like stale beer and cigarettes. He was originally a country singer. Now he's a hip-hop icon. Post Malone, you are my hero. Thank you for existing. And congratulations, moves me forward.
Post Malone, if you want to know Josh's address, no, I'm not going to do
that. I paid way too much money to go see Post Malone. And I would pay that price again and again and again to go see Post Malone.
Yeah, I had a chance to see it, but I did not have because it was in Virginia again, I believe, where my old roommate Josh was like, "Hey, you need to come out and see this." And I was like, "Man, I want to, but it's like 150 like some dollars." Like
Yes.
that was
Yes.
crazy.
I paid less money for Drake.
Yeah. That would have been another one to see live. That's crazy.
That was Anastasia's birthday gift a couple of years ago. But
There you go.
I understand the man put on a show.
Yeah. So a song that moved me forward, mine was the very new Aftermath by The Ghost Inside. For those that don't know this story,
Yes.
this is a very big tearjerker for a lot of not just Ghost Inside and metalcore fans, but of just people in general that care about music and a story. The band was involved in a bus crash in 2015, I believe the year was, in which a lot of the members, or all of the members, were severely injured, including the drummer losing his leg. And recently they came out with their first song since that incident, telling the story and the breakthroughs and every hardship that has happened along the way. And something about, I don't think I've ever like teared up during a breakdown. And when the line "triumph over tragedy" hit, I went, wow. Like just seeing Andrew, the drummer, like having that contraption now that his dad made because he was trying to find his own way back into drumming is inspiring to a numerous amount of occasions, man. If you don't like metalcore, you will still like this song and like this story. Like it is very touching, very good.
And the documentary that accompanies it is tough.
Yes.
A song you think everybody should listen to. Mine comes from a very unique place. I was working at an ad agency, and there was another guy working there who we became pretty close, and he said he was a rapper. You should come check out this show that I'm putting on. I'm on it. And then Yanni Wolf of Y is going to do solo stuff. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And so we went to the show, and in between Joey Smooth and Yanni was this guy, Serengeti. When he got up there, his music wasn't working. And instead of, falling apart and getting pissed, he just breaks into basically a freestyle a cappella for roughly 15 minutes. And one of the songs he ends up doing is Dennehy. Dennehy is a song all about, like, imagine if somebody wrote a song about your dad. That's what the song is, from your dad's perspective. And it's all about being a Chicago dude with a mustache who loves the Bears and loves the Cubs and the Bulls and the Sox and sausages and Jay's potato chips, peach pies, trying to just play softball with the guys. Wife made curly fries. I mean, it's just grounded out. 4 duels, 2 pop flies. I mean, it's an awesome song, and the beat just is so unique and just transports you right into that time frame of that like mid 80s kind of dude that is just living life. Serengeti, Denny.
Very Chicago of you.
Yeah, very Chicago. He loves the Bears.
Deep fish, the Bears, kind of.
I want you to listen to that song after this show because you will love that song.
Okay, I will.
All right.
Mine. A lot of people probably have not heard her music, but know her from being very one of the most, I'm going to say it, she's the most interesting artist I've ever come across in terms of a divulging and dissecting, figuring out what she is. And that is Poppy.
Right.
Yes. My song for this is Concrete, which, to break this down, it goes from a very almost sounding of a Slipknot Ring at first, into very like hardcore metal, and then branches into, for the chorus, because probably most don't know this, this was a very like take back to Japan's baby metal, where it's essentially like a bunch of really steadfast lyrics of girl voices over metal music. And at the end of the song, it makes a very weird Queen reference that I very much appreciated and went straight into pop after that.
Yeah.
So this entire album, this song, it's one of the most interesting things, because just when you think that you have something, you get a sucker punch into another genre. And there's very much of genre swapping, in this. Very much recommend Poppy for those that are very indecisive for music, because you will get all of it.
Yeah. Poppy, that album, I disagree, is going to be covered on Give It a Spin at some point. It is the lost headphone hideaway that nobody will ever see, because we recorded it right when we decided, or Austin recorded it right when we decided we were going to start doing our own thing. A song by a band you wish was still together. This is physically impossible for this band to still be together, but I don't give a fuck. Led Zeppelin, Dazed and Confused. I got to see, luckily, at least some iteration of all of my hero bands growing up as a kid. I've seen Queen, I've seen Aerosmith, I've seen Pink Floyd, I've seen Rush. Zeppelin being that one that I just have never gotten to see live in any form. And Dazed and Confused is my favorite Zeppelin. One of my favorite Zeppelin songs. So, Dazed and Confused.
So, mine originally, and I'm going to make a big switch up here real quick, because mine originally was Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes.
Which I loved that pick when I saw it. I loved that pick when I saw it. Yeah. I was like, yes. Could you imagine a White Stripes album in 2020? Be freaking wild.
Yes. So I'm not going to switch it. I'm going to make it a tie, because when I originally did this song or this list, I got very confused on one thing and just panicked and went with it. But my other one that I would tie into this would be from Queen with Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
But you can hear that song.
Yes.
And Adam Lambert is probably the best Queen new lead singer we've ever gotten.
Yeah, I would say so.
So, because he performed it on Carpool Karaoke is James done. Corden. James Corden.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, James Corden. All right. Anyway, you can hear Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen with Adam Lambert on James Corden's show. Austin, what is a song you like by an artist no longer living?
This one hits home for me, man. Like, so on so many levels. Picking the song was essentially a no-brainer for me, but a lot of people might disagree just because of his more classic and recent stuff going back and forth. Mine is I'll Be There by Mac Miller. I will never forget the crushing story of what happened to him, especially since all of our group of friends, probably 12 of us, had tickets to his show, and that was a very hard thing for me to go through. I loved this man and everything that he did for not only the music scene, but for Pittsburgh. And I'm like stumbling on my words because I'm like trying not to like legit tear up like right on the thing. The song though just tells of how appreciative of him that he was happy growing up with his mother and everything that she did for him. And I chose that one because that hits a whole new like level, man. Like right. You could argue some of his more like bangers and everything, but I thought that his very like soft-spoken, like storytelling was a lot more creative better on songs like this.
Yeah. Mine's also a Mac song. Mine is Knock Knock. That's just, to me, like, that's college. That song is college, and it is, I don't know. It's hard to talk about Mac being a Pittsburgh kid and somebody who grew up with his music.
Yeah.
Day 26. A song that makes you want to fall in love, Austin.
Mine was Everything I Do It For You by Bryan Adams. I love this song.
Banger.
I love this song so much. And yeah, it's essentially like telling the story of a guy that would literally do everything to find that person. And that's essentially falling in love. So
mine has the exact lyrics, make me fall in love in it. It's Humming by Turnover, off the Peripheral Visions album. Shoegaze emo rock is back, and nobody does it better than Turnover, and this is probably the best song on that album. So, At Me. It's not Dizzy on the Come Down. A song that breaks your heart, Austin.
It's funny that we talked about this group before and how you weren't very much of a fan of them, but it has heart in the lyric or in the song title, and it breaks my heart almost every time I have to listen to it because it's essentially what people go through every day in relationships. Mine is A Change of Heart by the 1975. It's the story for it is essentially heartbreaking of growing out of once said feelings that you had and not knowing why. And that's the biggest part. Like that's the hardest part of all, is that when relationships or marriages end of stuff, of like harder stuff to talk about, like cheating, abuse and everything, but essentially them ending because of not knowing why you don't have feelings anymore is probably the hardest thing to ever hear.
Yeah. It's good. It's good lyrical content, I'm sure. Too bad they suck. Mine is along the same lines, believe it or not, as far as the story goes, is Pink Motel by the Glorious Sons off of the War on Everything album. And it's about a guy just professing to his loved one, like, look, we can leave everything behind. I've got the keys to a pink motel. Let's just get the fuck out of here. Starts just piano, and it's rock opera at its best as it swells, and overwhelming emotions come from the lead singer of the Glorious Sons. And this band you will hear me talk about quite a bit on this show because they are the band that has most recently come in and then jumped into that top 10 list of artists. I mean, they really, they're awesome. So Glorious Sons, Pink Motel. A song by an artist whose voice you love, Austin.
Yep. I'm so jealous because my brother Ian has seen this man perform how many times. I saw him, but he was with another group as their singer and guitar player. Mine is Vultures by John Mayer. I love John Mayer, man. His voice does something to me, dude. It's so beautiful. And it's very much expressed on this song.
Yeah.
The amount of like very slow, and then all of a sudden that voice just hits high and you're like, okay, all right, go ahead, John, go ahead. And I actually saw them when he was performing with the members of the Grateful Dead as Dead & Company.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was, man. It was just them for like 3.5 hours. Like, it was amazing.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that existed.
It's so good.
Oh, I want to hear John Mayer sing Touch of Grey so bad. Wow. Okay. When I read your list, I got all the way to the bottom. I saw that song. I stopped reading the list immediately and just put on Vultures. Like, that was like, I was like, yes. Yeah, I don't care. Punch me. I'm a goober. John Mayer rocks. And my favorite John Mayer song is Heartbreak Warfare, not Vultures. But Vultures is a banger too.
A good one.
Mine is, I just wrote about this guy. I just wrote about this band on 100 albums for it. Let Ruin Your Life. Matchbox 20's Push. Rob Thomas, you are an amazing artist. And I think the best part of Rob Thomas is just when you almost forget about Matchbox 20, a new song comes out that's just like, oh, okay. They still got it. They still got it. So Push. Yeah. Austin, a song you remember from your childhood.
Yeah, mine was probably see, I have it and I'm trying because this I think was the first song I ever knew.
Okay.
Like
That was what mine was too. Okay.
yes. So, and I remember it fairly well, and I used to listen to it in the car because my dad would play it all the time, and I was introduced to this artist. Probably this was the first artist I would say I was ever introduced to.
Okay.
And this was Drive for Daddy Jean, Alan Jackson. Good
Can't beat
story,
Alan Jackson.
man. Yeah, good story. Essentially of growing up and teaching your kid like what they need to know, whether that be a boat, a truck, like a fucking minivan for all I know.
Yeah.
But that speaks to me in a way, man. Like as the first song I ever heard and remembered hearing.
Yeah. I like to tell people this is the song that I've known the lyrics to the longest, and it's Blind Melon's No Rain. I don't know whether I liked the song and so my mom just kept playing it, or if she liked the song so then I loved it. But that is a song that connects me immediately to her, and it's yeah. Blind Melon, No Rain. I remember like calling like the radio stations to get them to play that song. So and finally, Austin, a song that reminds you of yourself.
This is a very interesting. We're going to get into a bit of storytelling here. So everybody always is looking to find their identity through anything, especially music.
Right.
When I heard this song, man, I immediately thought, this is me. And I hope I always say it wrong, but I'm going to try to pronounce this is City of Akala, A Day to Remember. A sense of going through life not knowing, but always having that group of people and mindset. This is where you can go if you don't like find, or even if you can't think of anything. The lyric that always hits me is, this is our corner of the world where we come to be ignored. And man, that's like I've been saying like the same stuff like word wise, but it spoke to me, man. I was just like, wow, this is me. Like originally I was gonna go like with something stupid, but I decided it to be meaningful.
A Day to Remember for both of us is a huge band because of the age we were when they were big. And for me, Common Courtesy, the album, was at the perfect fucking time.
Yeah.
I was working 3 jobs a day just to scrape by. I, was riding my bike 20 miles a day to get between these 3 jobs because I didn't have a car. And Common Courtesy was on repeat in my headphones. And that album and that song, absolutely. Mine comes from an artist who now everybody knows, but at the time nobody knew. Childish Gambino. Donald Glover was and still is a role model to me, a hero to me, a guy who refuses to, 1, be put in a box, 2, be told he's only allowed to do one thing, and 3, that he can't be good at all of them. He's proven that he's an incredible comedy writer with Community. He's proven he's an incredible actor with Community in Atlanta. He can prove he wrote dramas, right? But he's not just a writer as far as TV and film goes. He can also do music. And Freaks and Geeks is the proclamation of Childish Gambino that I'm here and I'm going to take over this game. And if it weren't for Childish Gambino, I may have never even been friends with my wife, let alone married her. So Freaks and Geeks, the loud, boisterous proclamation that you can be whatever the hell you want to be. And if anybody tells you no, all you got to do is prove them wrong. Yep. So Freaks and Geeks. And that wraps up. What? Go ahead.
That song, I legitimately think I could still probably know all and recite all the lyrics to. Because I listened to it on nonstop, man. Like, I was one of the first, because I couldn't find that song anywhere except, I think, like YouTube to start. Right. So I had to, my friends, every time that we would get into the car or anything, I would be like, hey, put this on. And they're like, dude, this is YouTube. Like, what is this? And I was like, all right, like, don't hate. Like, you're going to. Yep. And they were like bumping along, like, oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Gambino is a mastermind. Fuck a bitch to pass his time. Mass appeal, Lawrence Rhymes, smoke your green, I'm spending my libido, which is brew. Yes. That's been the 30-day song challenge. This is Give It a Spin. I'm Josh Elsass. That's Austin Moorhead. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, we're going to put these playlists out so everybody can go click on them, follow them, and play them and enjoy our music. So,
yeah. Nice little plug in there at the end.
Yeah.